Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Welcome to Flat Earth Debate Live. I'm your host, Nathan Oakley, and if you are new to this channel, or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a super chat that runs alongside each of these shows while they're live. There's also a PayPal, Patreon and crypto link in the info box below the video. If you'd like to keep up to date with the community debate, then go to nathanoakley.com and check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum. Most importantly, if you would like to join this discussion right now, then simply mute the page you are currently watching, then click the link in the info box below this video to join the panel and express your views on the shape of the Earth. If you do join, please don't swear. If you do, you'll be ejected, and if you are, please don't try to rejoin the stream using sock accounts. You'll be warmly welcomed back on the next stream. Please also share the show on social media. Sharing the show obviously increases the live audience, but this in turn increases the chances of a more diverse panel. So please share the show on Facebook and Twitter. And one last time, if you're new to the channel or you've not done so already, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon to keep up to date with the Flat Earth Debate. Now, we are joined by The Plain Truth, Dion and Paul. Good to have you all.
What's up?
Hello, sir.
Hello, what ho?
Hello.
Woo-hoo.
Any signs of curvature, gentlemen?
Oh,
Not yet.
Not yet.
not yet.
You were telling us how poor your observation point might be, so probably never from you, Paul.
Yeah. I've only got the most I can see over any kind of lake is about 1.5 to 2 miles, so I can't see much.
There is hope because Spurs Chemo's joined us. Any signs of Spurs Chemo? I was going to say. Any signs of curvature, Spurs Chemo?
He's here, yes. Yeah. Possibly. Are you talking about curvature?
Indeed.
Right. Well, we've got. Let me try to explain what we've got. So you know George, Soundly.
I do, but I'm going to shout out Colin Turner for the super chat. Thank you very much, Colin Turner. Carry on, Spurs. George and Soundly.
Soundly, yeah. So what we've got Soundly with a visual of what appears to be curvature. Now we know that's not curvature, but just for this argument's sake, we can say, well, I would say to Soundly, okay, fair enough, there's your curvature. Then we have George, and George somewhere else. He said he measured the drop, this 8 inches per mile square. And I said, well, George, why didn't you measure this drop over where Soundly, observed this curvature? Because, the ball earthers are forever confused. So obviously we've been asking for the last 4 or 5 years, where's the curvature? Where's the curvature? So I kind of think, do they understand why we're asking for where's the curvature? Not just so we can see, like, there's curvature. It's so we can make a measurement, so we can measure the actual drop of the curve that let's say that they show us. So I've asked George. He says he has drop. Soundly says he has curvature. Is that what we're looking for? When we're asking where's the curvature, where's the curve? Is it because, in my mind, I thought it's because we wanted to measure, or is it because we just wanted a visual of the curvature?
Well, if you can see it, you can measure it.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's what I'm asking. If George was able to measure the drop on Soundly's visual, would you, me, anyone with flat earthers accept, okay, look, there's the drop. This is Earth curve.
Drop. You'd have to show it me. I don't know what he's got to present, but if there's a curve and we can measure it, then wonderful. Let's have a look.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's something I think they'll be working on. Or George is saying that he needs sponsoring to go down to see Soundly and do this test. But yeah, I'm just finding out. We're looking to measure the drop, right? So
yeah,
if they can
testing.
do that, would we be satisfied?
Not testing, measuring. measuring specifically curvature. I don't know what this drop thing you're talking about is, but curvature, specifically curvature, Earth curvature, that's the question on the table. Any signs of Earth curvature?
Right, but even still, it's not strict measuring. It's only going to be able to be done in math because you're going to have to know the distance and size. So you're only going to be able to mathematically get it. There's no way to physically measure it.
Yeah, if you have what Brian Mullins was trying to propose, force the line, we're measuring. I mean, I can't see how else you would measure Earth curve if you're not measuring the drop. You would see how much the Earth is dropping away.
Now, here's a question I have. Just when you talk about measuring, are you talking about measuring something you see on a video screen, or are you actually physically something you can go out in the physical world and measure?
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Unless you do what Brian Mullins is doing, that's the only, that in my mind, that's the only way you're going to have a physical observation that you can actually measure in its strictest sense. Otherwise, whether or not it's on video or whether or not you're there in person, you're still only going to be able to say, okay, that's 10 miles away and that's what I'm seeing and that's how much I'm not seeing. That at that point, it's converted into math.
Right.
So it's always just an abstraction rather than empirical.
Well, we're jumping the gun. We don't know that's the case, Travis. I mean, the question on the table, as always, is any signs of curvature. Obviously, we're talking in regards to Earth, and if it was presented and it's curving, then me or anyone else can go out and measure it. So there's no testing involved. It's, showing you a curve. Should be fairly straightforward, right?
Again, it sounds like showing curvature. How do we measure this curvature?
I don't know. It's not my claim. It depends on what they show you, eh? So, if it was soundly being used as the example in the past, I don't know if you want to pop yourself on mute, Spurs.
It's not wrong with your mic, Nathan.
No, it's me, problem.
Oh, is it Travis?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was. So, if somebody's to present curvature like Soundly has in the past with his pylons or with his causeway, bridge, whatever it's called, then I would expect that to be capable of being measured as it goes into the distance and curves away from you. Well, that isn't the case in terms of the way the bridge has been built, and when you see it from a different angle, it definitely isn't curving it at all. So that's really a big fail. But obviously, it depends on what they're claiming this time. I don't know what they've got this time. Maybe they've got something new and shiny and they're showing us curve and we can go away and measure it and all that good stuff.
Yeah, because you've got George, on one side of America or wherever he is, saying, I've measured the drop. Like, what is what I thought we were asking for? Measurable curve, which would mean the drop of the Earth curving away. And Sound is saying, well, I've got a visual of this, but he hasn't actually measured the drop. So I don't know. I'm just trying to find out what would satisfy anyone if that would satisfy you.
Well, if it's a ball, right? If we live on a sphere, then it's a ball everywhere from every vantage point always. So it shouldn't be that difficult.
Well, that's what I was saying. If George could measure Soundly's drop, they were saying to me, "Oh, it would be so small of a number." Like, I was like, "Fine, whatever that number is."
What? No, hold on, I'm confused. Hold on, sorry. What number? What are you talking about? Number?
So the drop, whatever the measurement is of the drop.
No. Measurement of drop. Now we've gone from any signs of Earth curve to measurement numbers and drops. I'm very confused.
That's the only way you would know if something is curving, isn't it? If you measure the drop.
Do you see this picture on screen? Right. Would you say the boat is curving? Like the hull of the boat, is it curving, or would you say it's generally quite straight?
Yeah, it's not curving, no.
Right, what about the mountain? Is that curving?
I don't think it's curving here.
No, the mountain behind it. What about that? Is that curving?
No.
Well, looks pretty curved to me. It's got a curve to it.
Oh, the mountain itself. Well, I think.
Yeah. What about this land? Is this curving? It's got a curve to it. You can see that it's not straight, right? Well, that's something curving. And I'm sure you could go out and get the topology of that land and figure out precisely how much it's curving and measure how. And people have, shockingly, they've gone out and measured how much the land rises and falls, and it's all very accurate, right?
Yeah, so they measure how much it falls away, how much it drops, and how much it rises. So we're looking for the rise or the drop. Like I can't see how we can measure curve. Like we can't literally like well, someone was
Hey,
just saying
Tommy.
here, we can't put like a tape measure on the ground and say, well, here's the, you can't show curvature that way, can you?
Hello, Tommy. Can you hear us?
Yeah, loud and clear. Hello, Nathan. You all right, mate?
Very well. Good to have you. Anyway,
So it's just that I was always under the impression that when we've been asking, where's the curvature, it's so we can make a measurement, and we're not literally going to measure the curve on the surface, because you wouldn't get a measure. It's not like you're going to put plasticine and then print the curve, lift it up and say, look, here's the curve. We need to measure the drop, how much the Earth is falling away, and then that will tell you how much the Earth is curving. And then that should apply everywhere around the world. This is what I was saying to them. It should apply. I said to them, whatever calculations you give us, we can apply this everywhere, and it will be exactly the same. And yeah, that's what they think will happen. So I don't know. Would that be a sign for you? But you're saying that you're not satisfied with the drop, or what?
I don't know what you mean by drop. So if they want
You know,
to present
Brian Mullins forced the line.
Hold on, Spurs. Are you presenting this? Have you got something to present? Have you got some Earth curve to show us?
No, it's no.
What am I going to be satisfied with? Earth curve. That's what I'll be satisfied with, right? And you know, if it's from a second law of thermodynamics violation, I'll reject it out of hand. You know, if it's come from Narnia, I'll reject it out of hand also. You know, Earth curve, simple. Anyway, if you've not got any, let's move on.
Let's move on.
Any signs of axial rotation?
Any signs of axis?
Axial rotation of the Earth-based variety.
None of that.
No axis, then no rotation.
Fair enough. Any evidence of the distance to the sun?
I'll have to say yes.
Oh, really? Cool. Let's hear it.
Give me 1 second. Sorry, my phone just rang.
Mic check. You guys can hear me?
Hey, Chocolate. Shout out to Charles for the super chat. Says, "R, indeedy."
Yeah, sun 4,177.5 kilometers, 2,595 miles. It wobbles a bit, but that's pretty much it.
How did you get that?
It's part of the scientific announcement of the discovery. So it's all written down how this is measured. It's very simple, actually. It's a childish game to do it after stuff that I know now. But it will be a publication. It will go everywhere, like MIT, Harvard. It will go Cambridge. It will go everywhere. The paper in 2 or 3 weeks with all the experiments and all the data and all the everything.
So you're going to tell us it?
You changed that. You saw, Nathan, that I changed my name on my thingy. If you hover over me, and here for the show, I changed it to the one, and the reason is that one does simply finds the existence of ether once in a lifetime. And I'll go and show you ether right now. The only basic form that it can exist is that. But the spicy stuff in 2 or 3 weeks.
Oh, okay. So you're going to keep us in suspense.
Yeah, I have to protect it a bit. I publicly protected it by quoting myself everywhere, the date of the discovery and everything, but still, just a few more days. Everything's been synthesized. I've run like 20 pre-test experiments. They work 100% every time. So, like the scientific method experiments. I mean.
No, I don't doubt it. You've seen the current flack people are getting, so I'll wait with bated breath. I'm sure it'll be awesome. Right, let's move on.
Well, I can tell you the Big Bang did happen.
Say that again. I talked over you. Sorry.
The Big Bang did happen. It's 50-50 about stuff about the blowheads. Yeah, that they were saying. They probably know how it all happened, because if I can figure it out with having this information now, then everybody here can figure it out for himself in like 15 minutes if he knows the information, the process. So it's so simple. You won't even
All
believe
right, let's get through the housekeeping, because this is it's an interesting subject, the Big Bang. Actually,
Wow, distance to the sun. If there's a glimmer, no pun intended, of that being resolved,
shimmer.
then I want to hear about it.
Wait, Dan, did you say the Big Bang did happen or didn't? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, did happen. That's why they're throwing everything in our faces.
Did, as in affirmative?
Yes, affirmative.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It's just they've disguised it in another way. That's why everybody's looking in their own direction.
Are you a globe earther or flat earther? Is it the one?
Morning.
Yeah, I'm a flat earther. I'm one of the first. I
you
I
think
posted the NASA budget.
the Big Bang happened, then flat Earth?
Yeah.
How?
Very complicated dielectric process.
Where did life come from?
The same process afterwards.
In the Big Bang.
Yep.
Okay, so we have life. Sorry, we have Big Bang. We have. Is it millions of years or?
No.
It's not millions of years.
No.
Billions.
What's the time scale?
Currently unknown.
Sorry.
Currently unknown.
What do you think? Is it millions or thousands of years?
Millions.
Oh, millions of years. Okay.
Probably,
It's actually 14.5 billion.
Now hold on, Brummy.
I think it's somewhere around the thousands.
Thousands of years. Okay, so it was Big Bang. Thousands of years. The Earth formed.
Let me just say something about the Big Bang. It's a huge buildup of a certain type of material which implodes on itself. It creates another type of material, which then goes on and creates the sun and the moon first, and then the atmosphere in a specific manner. I have the whole process, bit by bit, detail by detail, with timestamps, how long it took for each part.
Can I just ask quickly, is this supernatural creator or is this random by chance?
Supernatural.
A creator, yeah?
Absolutely supernatural.
Okay, interesting.
And actually, the Bible in Genesis, it's actually it's not where God said, "Let there be light." That's an absolute exact explanation about the mechanical process that did occur. I checked; it's 100% just pure science in the Bible, pure science.
Genesis 1 is not scientific. It's not cosmological. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, but we have a new find. This is what he's saying. He has new information and new understanding. This is exciting, right? With science, then, yeah?
By the scientific method. Discovery.
Phenomenon, observation, question, research, hypothesis, experiment, all like this, yeah? Conclusion.
Varying the independent variable the whole time, yes, true, it happens. I can tell you, like, probably we can use close to 3,000, 4,000 experiments, and it's just cherry picking which one I want to put in the presentations.
Well,
It's
when
process. You'll be amazed. You won't believe it.
When do we begin? When can this begin?
The official papers will come in 2-3 weeks, I suppose, with all the details, the experiments, and then the official presentations in front of science, and then it's going to every university around the world, all scientific, so it's an official paper that's being carried out. I'm working with 2 physicists, my formal physics teachers from school. They understood the process for about 2 hours. They got pale at the end when they started realizing, they were like, oh. So they're still in a bit of a shock because they threw their textbooks away, but they'll get over it.
Cool. You move on. Any scientific evidence of gravity? Hey, Alan.
Scientific evidence of what?
Gravity.
Hello.
Nope.
Hello.
Did somebody say gravity?
Yep. Scientific
evidence of magic? No.
Yeah. Although Harry Potter.
Okay. Any evidence that we can have a gas pressure without a container?
Nope. Container is there. Big, very strong, and very crystalline.
What?
Any evidence that we could have a gas gradient in a container?
Yeah,
But
somebody
that
did it
just
recently,
shows that,
actually.
that the container has nothing to do with the gas pressure. Although we do have a solid barrier, it has nothing to do with actually the gas pressure on the surface layer in the troposphere.
But just to answer your question, Tommy, yes. So, Good Times for All, otherwise known as Zachary Zabala, recently did exactly that. And
So you can have a gas gradient inside a container in a pressurized system.
Oh,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the evidence for that?
I literally just said it 2 seconds ago. Did you not hear me say it? Was it?
No, I didn't hear the evidence. I just heard you confirm that there is evidence.
Yeah. Zachary Zabala. His channel is called Good Times for All. GUDTIMS number 4 ALL.
Okay.
He also demonstrated it on Iron Realm Media and has offered anybody that wants the equipment to replicate it that he'd send it out to them. But achieving gas pressure gradients in a container is not a stretch, because to have gas pressure you would need a container. That's why we ask for a demonstration of gas pressure without a container. Do you have that?
Without gravity, because with gravity, that could be possible.
Have you got a
Do you have
demonstration?
any proof of that gravity?
Sorry,
The
bear
Earth
with me.
itself
Bear with me.
is a demonstration.
Just bear with me. So, can you demonstrate gravity maintaining gas pressure without a container?
The Earth itself is a
That's a
demonstration.
fundamentalist belief, the thing we're trying to verify. So don't just assert your fundamentalist belief about what the Earth does.
The Earth itself.
Yeah, that would be a fundy belief that we're trying to verify. You
If
have
you
a
say
fundy
so.
belief that the sky is a vacuum. And we're
If you
saying,
say
is
so.
there any evidence that would violate the second law of thermodynamics and stop the high pressure gas dissipating into the low pressure vacuum? Is there a demonstration of gas pressure without a container?
The Earth itself is a demonstration.
Yeah, I've
If you
said
don't
this
want to
twice.
accept that, that's fine.
That's your
We can move on.
fundy belief.
That's
Yeah?
your
fundy belief.
interpretation.
Your fundy belief doesn't fly here, Tommy. Just
Your
piss off to a
interpretation of
fundy
what I
globe
have
head
is
site
incorrect.
and talk amongst yourselves about your fundy belief in the sky vacuum, because your fundy belief isn't proof.
Your interpretation of my belief is incorrect.
Can you demonstrate gas pressure without a container? Or do you just have a fundamentalist belief in a sky vacuum, Tommy?
Let's move on, Nathan, because you're not.
I'll
willing
take
to
that as a
you're not
no.
willing to understand.
I'll take that as a no. No problem.
Take it how you like.
Yeah, as a no. I don't have a demonstration of gas pressure being maintained without a container. Only my fundamentalist belief in the sky vacuum. That's how I'll take it. Any evidence of the R value, the presuppositional holy R value?
In our they trust.
Earth radius, gentlemen? Anybody? Anybody at all? Moving on. Any evidence of a self-perpetuating molten iron core at the centre of a presupposed spherical Earth?
Told you that's impossible. Even if it's spherical, it's still impossible.
Yeah, the Earth itself. The Earth itself is the proof.
Yeah. Big model of your head.
Encyclopedia paintings?
Yep. I'll take that every day. Not.
I always thought they were very convincing, to be fair.
Yeah, when you're like 4.
No, up until I was 12 at least.
No, nothing beyond the Encyclopedia Britannica. Is that it?
Yeah. No, Arvali.
That's it then.
Nope.
That concludes the housekeeping.
Just one more thing after the housekeeping. One more reason that I changed my name to the one is that I used to watch the movie The Matrix like a gazillion times. I know all the lines. Like I can speak the whole movie out, the three parts of it. And I used to watch it since it came out till even now. And I watch it like probably every month. And I always used to think for myself that I'll be the one. It turned out to be true. That's ironic.
We had a psych evaluation recently. They call it having delusions of grandeur.
One, how are you so sure? Who has confirmed? What research have you done?
What research? I started 10 years ago.
It's the simulatory nature of this world, of matter.
I started 10 years ago, and you're asking me what research I've done?
No. I mean, in terms of experiments to suggest that the Big Bang was the way.
Those experiments, you can see them online. They've already did them. I just reaffirmed when I did them myself. It's everything about what I discovered is out there. It's public knowledge. It's just nobody understands the way it works. That's the whole issue. Nobody gets it. It's all there. There's no lack of information. Nothing is secret. Everything is right in front of your eyes, and you're looking around it all the time. I just did a good observation, nothing more. I'm not smart. I'm not clever. I'm not bright. I'm really dumb, if I have to say so. But my dumbness made me look at one thing, stare at it until I start to understand it. That's why I discovered it. It's just a simple.
Too modest, Ian. You are freaking smart.
Nah.
Yeah, but the smarter you are, the more you realize how dumb you are.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Like today, I was writing down about radioactive materials and the geometrical ratios in chemicals, about rewriting all the physics. And then I realized that I'm making mistakes when I write in Bulgarian, like very simple ones. Like I discovered this and I still do this. Fuck, I'm dumb. So the Matrix movie, when I got interrupted, it's actually a Matrix movie, is a very good detailed explanation about ether, basically.
But hold on, are you talking about a movie or reality?
The Matrix movie with Keanu Reeves.
Mm-hmm.
The whole movie is about ether.
Yeah, but what does this have to do with the Big Bang and flat Earth? Like, what's the connection?
Because it's a mechanical process that creates stuff, and it has to build a certain type of material, and when it gets too much, it implodes on itself and starts doing other shit. When it implodes, then it explodes because it starts connecting the previously formed stuff together, so they get the specific sizes and dimensions. That's why it causes the Big Bang. But it's just once, and then it settles down in a specific area.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of all of this?
Purpose, our personal entertainment. Whole purpose of life.
What entertainment? What do you mean?
Our personal entertainment. That's the whole purpose of life.
Of life is the purpose of life is entertainment.
Our personal entertainment. That's why we create
personal entertainment. What do you mean?
Yes. We like to dramatize about stuff, and we want to experience lots of stuff. That's why we need lots of copies of ourselves to do that. That's why we created everything. I wouldn't not something special. It's just to have fun.
No, I'm just curious. I'm just asking you.
No, it's not just to have fun. It's to have an experience. Like
it's mainly the main experience, as Arwin states, is love, compassion, and the kindness. But the way we structured it is made the bad stuff more, so we can appreciate the good at the end. That's
okay.
Why.
So if why are they lying to us then? Is that what's all that about?
That's why, because when they lie to us, and we suffer. This is where your personal feelings and what you know and what you feel, you can evaluate or I forgot the word. Sorry about that word.
Okay, take your time, no rush.
Uh,
You have time.
when you have the meaning of something, like when you understand how important it is, how do you call this? Not to evaluate, but to. Jesus.
What's your guys' thoughts on like when the sun sets and it illuminates clouds at the bottom?
Doesn't set.
What about it?
What's your thoughts on that? Is that, is the sun appearing to set due to perspective, or is the sun actually below the horizon and it's creating an angle which is illuminating the clouds from underneath? Which is more likely?
You can actually take a little piece of cardboard, get down on the ground, and find a series of lights that go off in the distance. And you can get down on the ground, and if you look underneath the paper or whatever you got, you can actually see the light underneath the clouds, even though the lights are higher up than the paper. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So you have light bouncing in all directions. So you'd actually see the clouds constantly being illuminated from at every point of the day using that kind of thought experiment.
All right, Brommy, we may be able to answer that. The one, why can't we explain, like the Globers are trying to build a model and a map. So Brommy's asking questions about light and things like that. So, sometimes they say, oh, well, has God made a place that is confusing, where it looks like a ball, and it appears to be a ball. The equations tell us it's a ball, but it's actually flat. So Brommy wants to know things like, why can't we build or design a model and explain things like light doing the things that they do?
Spurs, it looks flat to me. It doesn't seem to appear. It doesn't feel like we're moving. I think it's kind of reverse of what you're saying.
Yeah, but you're asking why can't this be explained? So maybe the one, because he has a paper on all of this.
I'm not saying this can't be explained. I asked the panel what their thoughts are on explaining why the clouds are illuminated from underneath. Someone gave a decent idea, but as I said, that would be something we would see at no matter what time and no matter where the sun is. The clouds would always appear to be illuminated if what he's saying is correct. But it obviously only happens at the moment.
The model would answer that for me.
It's not consistent.
If there was a model, it would answer that. So, like the one, why do you think there is no model for these ball earthers?
Because it's impossible to have it.
There is no model for these ball earthers.
It does not comply with reality.
A model isn't reality.
Yeah.
No, but like people want to be able to explain things, how things work.
Yeah.
What's preventing them from explaining things?
Not knowing what ether is.
The ether.
Yeah.
So they have to know what. So, Brummy, there you go. There's a start. You have to explore and know what the ether exactly is. What is the ether?
I'll show it again.
We can all. I just know how light behaves by just common sense. If you put your hand up towards a light, it will cast a shadow in that direction. Right?
I can tell you how light works.
It only seems to be doing something quite, unexplainable when it starts to shed.
Ironically,
hard to listen.
It's not unexplainable.
He can tell you how light works, Brummy. Give him a chance. Give him a chance.
If you know how light works, then tell me why the surface temperature of the sun is minus 260 something degrees.
So you still haven't answered my question earlier. Now you want me to answer your question.
Works in this way. Sun has a specific field. When this field reaches or goes through what we call the atmoplane, the small particles of different gases, they're like sunflowers. They like to turn and look at it the whole time. It forms microtubes like a million times thinner than carbon fiber fabric tubes. And then you look, let's say, if you take a pipe and you look through the pipe, you this is how light gets to us, and that's what causes the brightness of the day, because all the stuff, the gas in the area of the field of the sun wants to look at the sun for a specific reason.
I mean, I find it very difficult to understand what you're saying through your accent. Your accent's very thick, and it's. I'm not digesting your information properly, and I don't think you're explaining it very well either. I'm not quite sure what you're saying.
Not explaining it very well because it's going out public in a few weeks all over the world as a presentation of a discovery backed by scientific method experiments and what the world is. That's why I won't tell you exactly what's happening now.
Okay.
But very soon you'll find out.
Okay, apparently.
Yes.
And well. But I think if you're holding on to something that's, you know, scientifically, you know, gone through the scientific method, that you'd have something very valuable there, and I would ask, you know, I'd say to you to share it in a way that you would profit from it majorly, because if it's one contradiction to the heliocentric model, then you know you're onto a winner there.
Yeah, the war is over. It ended already. That's it.
You should be a rich man soon.
As stated at the end of the Matrix movie, when the young guy, Mouse, runs and tells the other, the war is over, the war is over. It is over. That was it. That was the grand finale. A bit boring, but it's over.
Okay.
But so you're saying the one peer-reviewed papers will convince the globe earthers that they're not on a globe?
Yes. Because everything in our universe is created and goes back into a thing that is called a dielectric plane, and everything can exist only around a plane. That's the basic process that creates everything. So how you have a process based on a plane creating a sphere? So it will be a bit of an issue for them.
So right now you're worried that if you give too much information, somebody will steal or take away your ideas. What's the problem right now?
Yeah, they will. They're probably trying. They're probably listening. Hi guys, I know what Ether is.
Okay. Excellent. Well, you know, we'll wait. We'll patiently wait and see.
As I stated to all my friends and family and people I know, if I suddenly die or disappear in some very specific, strange way, I haven't committed suicide. Or if somebody discovers Ether, like a big mainstream scientist, sorry, we caught you before you stole it.
What, you're worried about something happening to you? Is that big?
Well, I just like re-rolled all the textbooks in chemistry, biology, physics, microbiologics, genetics, everything from the beginning.
Okay, what about the moon landings? Did we go to the moon?
What?
The moon. Did we land on the moon?
You mean that very squished, like kind of very elongated?
It was probably a hoax. Chemo was probably a hoax by the looks of the looks of the apparatus they used.
That thing? Like,
yeah.
Probably was a hoax.
Wait, Tommy, you believe we landed on the moon?
I said it probably looks like a fix or a sham. It, you know, looking at the spaceship, it does look quite, you know, pathetic. And it is there's some things that NASA do show, like the pictures of the planets and things that do look questionable. But just because these things can be doubted, and you know, that doesn't lead me to then discredit everything that they propose and everything that they offer us.
Well, tell me what's the logic to land on a
because it would have ended the war between Russia, and there seems to be a motive, the reason to fake it. So I see the motive of them faking it, the reason for it being, and probably the reason they need to sustain that. But because of this, just because of this moon landing, it's more like a gateway in order to start discrediting everything that everything that can be, you know, can be used.
It's a big fraud that was put out in front of all of us.
Possible.
Right,
very possible.
Can we get the one's perspective?
Sorry?
We're just trying to get his perspective. Well, I'm trying to get his perspective on, you know, just like moon landings and the shape of the Earth. Big Bang, he says, definitely happened. So, what is your take on the moon landings there, the one?
Not happened.
Didn't happen, no?
What's the reason to land on something that it's like, imagine a sphere,
Mm-hmm.
and then like flatten it till it becomes really like Neil deGrasse Tyson says, like a really old blade spheroid, but it's pretty flat.
Okay.
Much thinner than the sun.
Yeah.
And it's
Connection.
I think you're breaking up.
Yeah, it's Dion's connection's a bit dodgy. Although he's stuck in a very Matrix-style pose, hasn't he? Hey, Flat Earth, by the way, good to have you.
And I'm freezing. I'm freezing because I need to keep the laptop cool, and I'm so freezing, and I'm away from the router. But
Well, at least you didn't claim it was the CIA
to
doing
make the
it.
announcement,
Why don't you just
I
connect
need to be
connect
on
back
the
into
balcony.
the Matrix?
and so my laptop.
You're breaking up, Dion.
Karen,
You're breaking up there, the one. I don't know
Hey,
if it's Mike.
Brenda, how you doing?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Any evidence for the flat Earth?
Yeah,
Yes, we have
obviously,
it.
What's your evidence? What's your evidence?
obviously and
Observations, that's all they
observably
have.
flat.
I didn't hear anything. People were talking over each other.
It's obviously and observably flat.
That's not evidence. Where's your evidence?
Oh,
Well,
it
observations
flashes-
is evidence, but that
No,
isn't.
no, it's not. No, it's not.
Yes, observations are evidence, but it's,
No,
it's the limit of their. It's the limit of their observations. That's what they
observations
have a limited
are
amount.
not evidence.
They have a
Evidence-
limited amount of evidence. If I go outside and I see that the sun is up, I can say that's evidently the sun is up because I can see it. So it is a viable source of evidence, but it's not the
It was
only. That's as far as the evidence goes. Is it looks flat? That's as far as it can go, but it is still evidence because it looks exactly how it is.
Yeah, that's not what evidence is.
Well, if I walk outside and I look at you, right, and I see that you have blonde hair, and I go, well, it's evident you have blonde hair because I can see that you have blonde hair. That's evidence, right?
No,
Yes.
no. The
Yes.
evidence would be your physical perceptions. The conclusion,
All right.
which would be evidence for your conclusion that a person has blonde hair.
Okay.
But the conclusion is not the evidence.
So I walk to a flight of stairs, and I go, "There's a flight of stairs there," and you go, "That's not evidence." I can see the flight of stairs, and yet I can't.
Yeah.
I cannot say to
Yeah.
you that I can clearly see stairs.
You could be wrong. Your
Come on, bro.
conclusion.
Come on, bro. Like,
it could be. You
or
could be
whatever.
wrong.
listen.
You
I
could
am
be
not
wrong.
going to lie about what I can see with my own eyes. Just
Yeah.
some pedantic point that you're
No.
trying to make. You're basically saying anything is open up for discussion. We can never trust anything we ever see, and anything else that's just going a bit too far. I think you should really understand that seeing something with your own eyes is still evidence.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't.
Okay,
it isn't.
Okay. If you say so.
Your perceptions can be wrong, and therefore
wrong,
they can't be the basis of the kinds of conclusions that you're drawing.
If you say so.
You're wrong, Brummy.
If you say so.
Right. So if I have a vase of silk flowers on my table, somebody walks into my apartment, they just glance at the flowers and they think that I have real flowers on my table. Are they right?
Yeah, they are real
They look
silk
like
flowers, though, aren't they?
No, they're not. They're not
Sorry,
They
real.
look
you
like
didn't let me
flowers.
answer.
They
Sorry,
must
can I
be
just
flowers,
answer?
right?
They are real silk flowers, though, aren't they?
Yeah,
they're
but
not.
that's not what they say. They say, "Oh, you got some real flowers." They think they're real.
Yeah, my bad. So I said they're real silk flowers. They're not a hologram. They're not
that's not the
there,
conclusion.
are they? They're not physically not there. They're not a hologram, are they?
Well, they could be.
They could be a
Maybe it
hologram,
is
or
a
they could be
hologram.
not real flowers, because you've already
Yeah.
stipulated.
You could have
Sorry, hold on,
hologram
chocolate.
flowers
Hold
sitting
on,
in your house.
chocolate. Hold
Yeah,
on one sec.
It could be a hologram.
So,
Right.
so the distinction now is not that they're silk; it's that they're a hologram.
The point is, you can be mistaken. The point is, you can be mistaken.
No, I'm not mistaken. I've looked, and I'm really good. I've got a keen eye. I spot that they're really silk flowers, as
This is a
opposed
really
to.
good- this is
You're
a
not
really
letting me
good-
finish my sentence, Brenda. I'll let you waffle on. So, as opposed to hologrammatic representation of things that aren't actually there. That's very different, isn't it? So when I say... I hadn't quite finished, Brenda. I let you waffle on. So what's your problem? Yeah. So when I see something like this clock here, I say clock. I see it like I can see the silk flowers. It's not a hologram of the clock. But you would say this isn't really there. Because there's an Earth curve... Yeah, I still haven't finished, Brenda. It's your last chance. That was 2 warnings I've given you. Haven't finished my sentence. So, it's not a hologram. It can be repeated on multiple days from multiple vantage points, and there's never an Earth curve in the way. Just a clock.
Multiple observations would be considered evidence. But simply a conclusion. The point is that you can be wrong about your perceptions, just like you can be wrong about your conclusion based on your perceptions that the Earth is flat. You could be wrong. Do you think you could be wrong about that?
I know it's a clock. I can look at it and say clock. I know it's a boat. I can look at it and say boat. You, as a fantasist globehead, look at it and say slightly looming, non-standard refraction, hyena holographic projection of a clock from behind the Earth curve we don't see, can't measure, and do not experience.
Could be you be wrong about that.
No, it's definitely a clock.
No, but could you be wrong?
Look, you really are pushing the boat with this point. Now, look, if I don't suffer from like I don't need glasses. You know, I've got very good eyesight, and if you want to just like argue about what I see cannot be real, that means you're just everything I see could be a computer game we're living in. Anything I see or hear cannot be any use for any determination. And you just literally need to shut up about this point that you're making, because I can see that it's bright now today. Yeah, I can go outside and see that everything's illuminated. And that's evident to me. And it's as simple as that. It's simple. You just need to just leave this point alone and move on, because you're just being so fucking boring to listen to about this point.
No,
because
the point is,
I cannot have a conversation with somebody that's just going to deny what we see with our own eyes.
No,
that's
I
what
don't.
you're doing.
No, I'm not. I'm not denying.
You are trying to put doubt in what I see with my own eyes.
No, I'm putting doubt in your conclusions that you've based on what you see. I don't.
What clock?
I don't.
Clock. Hold on. What's wrong with my conclusion? Hold on, Tommy. Hold on, Brenda. What's wrong with my conclusion? Clock, boat, church spire. What's wrong with those conclusions?
You reject contradictory evidence.
Sorry, what contradictory evidence? I see it, it's there. The only contradiction comes when you beg the question, assume Earth has a radius, which would dictate there's an Earth curve blocking the view of these things, and then tell me that it's a mirage. That's you, not me. I just say clock.
Flat earthers reject and deny evidence that goes contrary to their theory.
Sorry, what evidence?
Theory that the Earth is flat.
What evidence? You've said, what have we got as proof? I've put it on screen. Yeah. Now you're saying I deny something. What am I denying? It's on screen. Clock, boat, spire.
Yeah, I don't see anything on screen. I just have the Hangout open, and all I see is a boat.
So when you asked me to give you evidence, what you actually meant was, I'm blind, I'm going to close my eyes, I can't see anything. No. Present me evidence.
I don't deny my
Well, let's put it this way, you stupid idiot. There's about 300 people who can see it, but you're the only one who claims not to be able to.
So the reason that flat Earth theory...
Shut up. I've just pointed out our evidence. It's on screen. Clock, spire, boat. You've not responded to a word of it. Now you're moving on, you bloody idiot. No! Stop!
Where's the base?
Why are you not addressing it? You haven't addressed what I've said. You're asking me a new question about the base of it. I have made it clear.
Why is it obstructed?
Why are you talking? Right, last chance, Brenda. I've made it clear my position. You can't see any of this stuff. It's a hologram. It's a mirage. Now, that's a wild claim. I don't need to make any wild claims. I say boat, clock, spire, totally reasonable assertions. You have got the unreasonable claim that it's a hologram. So you provide some evidence that goes against the obviously and observably flat nature of what we see. It's on screen.
Okay, so can I respond?
Brenda, please don't reinsert.
Can I respond
again? No,
can I
Brenda,
respond?
let me say one thing to you. If two
Can
people
I respond?
No, let me
Can I
say
respond?
I know what you're
I'd
going to
like-
say already.
I'd like
I know
to
what you're going to
respond.
say. What you're going to say is going to be the same shit that you've been saying since
No,
you've been
it's
in the
not.
room.
It's going to be it's your conclusion that the Earth is flat based on the evidence of your senses is insufficient.
It's obviously and observably flat. That's what's on screen. I keep saying it. I don't have to make any wild claims about what's on screen. I just look at it and say what I see. Clock. That's what I see. Flat Earth, Moon Bear, thank you very much for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much.
Insufficient to conclude that the Earth is flat.
Brenda, look, if two people walk into a room and we look at the wall and we go, oh, it's a white wall, and we can both agree on what we see, right? That's, we can both agree on the color white, even if to your senses that what you perceive as red could be what you identify as white, as long as it's consistent with what, if we put an orange pair, a red pair, whatever we do, whatever color that wall tends to be, or whatever color that pair tends to be, if you can consistently confirm what you see, or you can see as a color, even though your perception might see a different color, we can still agree on something, and we can still identify that the wall is white. Okay,
the point
is, listen, I am a glober.
I'm supposed to
completely am a glober, but I believe. Look, I can look outside and see the world is flat. It looks flat. Okay,
no, you can't. No, you don't. You don't.
Sorry, let's just point out for the audience again that it's on screen right now as this zealot denies it. I just want to point that out for the audience's benefit.
The point is that your senses can be wrong.
But
so I say clock. Brenda says my senses could be wrong. I say perfectly reasonable conclusion. There's a clock, there's a boat, there's a spire. Earth is flat, obviously and observably. She says your senses could be wrong. No, I just say clock. You say slightly looming non-standard refraction high in a holographic projection of a clock because your senses could be wrong. No, it's just a clock.
Yes. Water
well, this is where the confusion. Brenda, let me try and help you out a little bit here.
You're just you're a moron. Shut up. Water boat, clock, spire doesn't get you to Earth is flat.
But what we do use tools, and we take things further. Like if I asked you to build me a wall, you could build a wall using your eye, and you could eye line it, and it would probably be a bit off, and it won't be accurate. Yeah, we need tools in order to enhance that. But
Out to Truth Known and Del Watson for the super chat. Really appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed.
Yeah.
So just relax, Brenda. Right, look, you're arguing. Listen, you've come in here and you just
all you do is talk over me.
Time.
Shut the fuck up.
Time. You're not really making any progress in your argument. You're just saying that. Oh,
I'm talking to Nathan Oakley. This guy is a complete moron.
Because you're just not listening. You are not listening. Yes, you can go out there and when I look at the stars and I see them rotate a certain way, that's evidence for the way that things behave. I have to take observations and look and document what I see in order to come to conclusions. These are evidence. Right. This is evidence. So when people use evidence to look at the Earth and it looks flat, that is evidence for them. But when I do observations of the stars and I see them that is also evidence towards these two. You can't just have evidence work for you when you want it and not when it works.
Conclusions are not evidence, you idiot. Conclusions aren't evidence.
Listen, observations are evidence.
No, they're not.
Yes, they are. But how else can you do it? You're a blind man walking around trying to get evidence. Are you a scientist with no eyes?
Right, there are scientists with
no eyes. Are you a blind scientist? Is that what you're saying to me?
You can be a scientist and not be able to see. Yes, you can.
Listen to your nonsense. Just
what are you talking about?
Is everything going to be in Braille?
A person can be a scientist and not have any vision, right?
Just talk to the wall.
Right. It's going to be written in Braille.
Yo, Brenda, you are classic. Let me tell you. Wow.
If scientists are blind, they're probably not going to be very good at. They're probably not going to be very good at optics.
Scientific evidence is observations in support of a theory.
Yeah, with that total nonsense from Brenda, I've got to round it out there because scientific evidence is not observation based on a theory. The theory comes after the application of the scientific method. Brenda has done this before. She is just a numpty. But with that, I'll say a huge thank you to all of the audience in the Nathan Oakley 1980 channel. If you're watching this on Nathan Oakley channel, then stay tuned as there will be a shortish after show to follow. Be sure to like, comment, share and subscribe. I've been Nathan Oakley. Check out the Flat Earth Debate Forum on nathanoakley.com, and I'll see you all in the next video.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!